So welcome. So tonight we are talking about Canva, and Canva is an online tool. You can use it to design a wide range of things from posters to business cards and brochures to invitations. Um, it is, to start off, a free service to a point. So you make a free account. There are some images and or features of Canva that are kind of going to be after a paid wall. So it's kind of both free, but both a cheaper way to do graphic design when you don't actually have graphic design skills. So that is the great thing. So the designs and projects are ready for you to drop in whatever you want. You can also build from scratch as well, but it is nice to have, that extra oomph when you don't have the best of skills for this. And you can access this on any computer that can get on the internet. Because it's web-based, you're just going to canva.com. So that is the great thing about this. As we continue to get started here, I'm also going to add in the chat our handout. I will have this posted on our website as well, but I'm going to put a PDF in the chat here. So when I send a file in the chat, you should be able to just click on top of that file to open, and then just use your device to file and save, or option tap and save. But that is what it looks like here. It's literally going to be verbatim of what we're looking at. So don't worry if you can't get it to save to your device right now. It's more for you to have later to look at for help. So to get started, like I said, you do need to sign up at canva.com. This is with an email account, or you can sign in with a Gmail account or Facebook. And, they're going to have the run-of-the-mill questions. What's your name? What's your email? Make a password. Just a few things there. And once you sign up and log into your account, you can start designing right away. And like I said, it's at first the default is the free account. You have a bunch of different stuff available to you in the free section. So don't feel like you have to do any of that paid stuff. There is plenty to do on the free side of Canva. We here at the library use Canva for all of our advertising that we do for the library. All the graphics, posters, handouts, everything basically that you see coming from us, either on social media or here in the library, is made with Canva. So just know that this is something that we're working with all the time. By no means do I feel like I'm an expert, because there's so much you can do with it, and I'm only using it in certain kinds of ways. There's other ways on the business side that you could use that we don't use here. But that's kind of how we got into looking at this, and it's just a really great tool for others to learn. When you sign in, this is what your homepage will look like. And here you have a sidebar on the left side, and that's showing you what account you're in, and then home. And you've got all of these different areas here. You have projects, templates, the trash can, what somebody might have shared with you. And then as you scroll down further, then you have different types of tools. Right away on the top, it's asking you, what are you going to design? So this is where you're going to start and choose your type of project that you're going to do. And then we also have some other stuff across the top. We have some different tabs. So first we have the Canva logo. This you can click on at any point to get back to this home page. That'll always take you back. And you also have the design spotlight. They have different things every month that they like to show off. There's a business section and an education section. If you do the little, it's kind of silly, but when you have your browser screen, if it's a little smaller, they put this little 3-dot menu on there. That just means more options, more menu. But it's really, if it would be expanded out, it would say learn. So you click on learn, and that is where you can go for help when you want to just take a look at what you're trying to do and find out more about it. So that is, they have a design school, a blog, and different help videos and tips and tricks. It's a really great place to go, and I'll show you this live too. After we go through this slide presentation quick, I am going to switch to my Canva account so that you can see things done live. I think that's the great thing about doing the class on Zoom this way. You can have it right in your face and you can see all the different parts. So we'll get to that learning section. I'll show you all about it in a second. But it's just really nice that it lays out, like, if you're just starting, you know, if you're trying to make a poster, here are the different things you should look for. Or if you're making a social media post, here's the different stuff that you can look for. So that's just really nice that they lay it out that way. So the main thing that you're here to do is to create. So to start creating a design, if you remember on that home page, there was that big blue box there that says, what are you going to design? And it has some recommendations based on what you've already done. So that's the For You section. Then there's presentations, social media. Are you doing video stuff? There is different ways to create and edit videos within Canva as well. And then if you're making print products, like a poster that you're going to print off for handing out or putting up somewhere on a bulletin, or you know, brochures, things like that, that you want to have more of a professional look, that would be like the print product section. If you don't have this page, wherever you are anywhere on this site, up in the right corner, there is the purple Create a Design button as well that you'll see in a little bit. And that is how you can also get to this section to choose what you're going to design. So you could do social media posts, and they kind of break it up between, you know, Twitter, social media in general, Pinterest, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram. The great thing about choosing one of those specific types of social media posts is it's going to create the ratio size for you, so you don't have to guess on what it is supposed to be if you don't know. It just sets it for you. So that's kind of nice to have that preset. They have lots of just documents like letters, presentations, and they have the different formulations if it's a different ratio, magazine, resumes. Then they have a blogging and ebook section. Then they have marketing materials that would have to do with also the print products, email headers, events, ads. It goes on forever. One of the things that's great about Canva is that they have templates ready to go for you for a design. And then you can go ahead and insert all of your information. So most of the information that's on it is incorrect or a bunch of just gobbledygook that's not real, not even words. So you just put in your own information. When it comes to these templates, some are free while others are in the paid side. So you'll see that when I show you. They do have the ability to purchase like certain content or elements as well. So you don't have to have or buy a whole package. You could just buy one little template at a time as well. So if there's something you really, really want to use, you don't have to spend a whole lot to do it as well. But the elements range from shapes to borders to photographs. As you can see in this screenshot here, there was a dream big little one poster that must be meant for like a baby shower or something, and then they had a happy Earth Day sign. The other thing that's good about the templates, other than putting in your information, is that you can also change the template a little bit. So you don't have to go with exactly what's on it. You could change the color, the placement. You can even take some of the images out and add images in as well. So it's something that you can constantly change and you don't have to keep it the same. Like I said, there's different elements. So different building blocks you can use. So there's a free photo section. There's different grids. These are good for making custom layouts, frames. There's shapes, lines, illustrations, icons, charts. And here's an example of the lines and shapes, some of the ones that are there. And when you place it on your document, you can change the size or the color of it. And again, we'll see it in action in a second. You can also upload any of your own images. This can be a graphic of any kind or a photograph. So there is, and you'll see this when we log in, but there is a little menu on the left side for templates, elements, and then uploads is the third one. And you can search any of your uploads. Once you start putting in a lot, you'll get lost. But you would click on upload media to bring up the window to choose something from the files on your computer. So you would always click on that upload media, and then down below is after you've inserted the photo, that's what's uploaded. And it stays in there. You can delete them if you want out of the uploader if you're done using them, or you can keep it in there to use whenever you like. The same thing, you can upload videos and audio. So the same steps are the same when you're going to upload those as it was for uploading images. That one's pretty self-explanatory, but again, we'll see it live in a bit. And then the next button down is text. So here you're going to find options to add in text in different ways. So there is a heading, a subheading, or more like a body of a text. And it really doesn't matter which one you put in, so to speak, because you can always change the size. If you wanted something that was a bit more flashy or catchy, they do have, as you scroll down, different elements of text, color, and shape, like there is below for where it says huge sale or glow. They're just a different type of font. It's already added in the color. Those ones you can't change anything about them. So they're used as is. But that's another way to make text stand out, is by using some of their set font combinations. There is a section for just straight up photos. So these are going to be photos that are free for you to use, that don't have any issue with photo rights. So that is after text is photos. So if you're looking for a photo of a field or lavender, looks like here we have some dandelion that has gone into seeding, and then some lavender in a field in this screenshot here of some recent photos that were used for something. There is a search bar up at the top, so you can just search, I'm looking for a sunflower photo, and it will find something for you. If it can't find anything, you can always use other photos from other places. So if you are using something from like a Google image search or some other website that has free public domain photos for you, you can also download that to your computer and then upload as well. But these are just the ones that Canva includes in their in the account here. When you're finished with your project and you want to download, print, or post, these are the different types of ways that you can download it to your device. The type of file you end up downloading depends on what you're going to do with it. So JPEG, that's the JPG, it's the most widely used standard of image on the internet. It's a small file, and when you load it on a website, it will load quickly. So if you're looking for that, a JPEG would be a good option. The PNG file, this is larger in terms of the file size. It's better for printing than JPEG, but it does not load as quickly on a website because of the larger size. The PDF standard, this is kind of a mix between image and document file type. And some PDFs can be edited and typed on. But in this case, it's a way that you're going to freeze your design like an image, and this type of file would be good if you're printing several handouts or on a home computer. PDF for print is something that is going to be a better quality print than the PDF standard. So it is a slightly larger size PDF file. And this would be good if you're designing something that's going to be printed on nice paper. If it's for a business, I would always recommend to do PDF for print for that type of like a print product that you're going to be giving out. Again, all of this is in the handout, both the what kinds of files are good for what kind of printing, so don't worry. This is the little print box when you're ready to print. You would first click on this little share button that's up in the corner. And then you decide how you want to share it. You can either add people to see this, you can copy the link and send it to somebody to share, or you can click download, and that's where you're going to choose the type of file. So the next window here on this side is how you want to download it. So you would choose the file type, and it does suggest for you based on the type of project you chose, what maybe you would want to use, but you don't have to by any means do what they suggest. And then if you have multiple pages, you can select only one page or all pages and then download to your computer. So I'm going to show this to you live now. So for a second, I'm gonna stop sharing and reshare so that Zoom acts accordingly. Sometimes it has a mind of its own. Okay, so here I am logged into my account, and this one is my own personal Canva account. So this is one of the free ones. The library one we do pay for. So that one is the pro account that allows you to get any of the stuff. But I wanted to show you the free section since that's what most people are going to be using. So let's see. First, I want to show you this learn section. So we have the different stuff across the top. Like I said, they have a section for Spotlight, what they're kind of showing most recent, what's popular. anything that has to do with business, if you would be doing this for business. Education, there's a nice section for teachers and schools or students. And then they also have some free teacher resources. And then the learn section. So here I can get help on how do I make a logo? How do I make a banner? How do I do a poster? You can also look at topics in their blog, or you can also choose design school. So this has tutorials for you that are, most of them are YouTube videos. So it's just linking to their YouTube channel, but they have a Canva for beginners. They have all these courses laid out. If you're doing it for a certain type of, you know, if you're doing it for nonprofits versus for students or education, they have some nice videos. And then these are their preset tutorials. So anytime there's new features, they'll have that for you. They have a getting started, presenting, how to create whiteboards, how to create a website using stuff like this, different types of documents. Or if you want to design. So if I click on the designing with Canva, each like chapter or topic within or subtopic within this topic is its own video. So you see some of them are short, like 36 seconds. Others are longer, like a minute, 3 minutes. And these should, if I click on this uploading images, they should all be accessible no matter, yeah. So the nice thing is you can pause, you can rewind, go back to where you want. And these are accessible to anybody. You don't have to be paying for the pro section to have access to this design school. So that is something that I also really like about this. It's all built in. It's all super easy with those videos and, you know, step by step. So take a look at that when you have some time, if you are thinking of doing this a bit more. All right, so after that, let's go back home. So if I click on my projects, you can see all the different types of things that I have done with this. So I can make folders. I can also just look at all the designs meshed into one big pile. I haven't made folders in my own personal one because I haven't done as many things as we might for the library. So in the library account, we do have multiple folders for different departments and then for different types, you know, events. So the folders are really nice and it's easy for multiple people to also work in it at the same time. So if you are thinking about using this for something where you have a group of people working on something, I will say that it has worked really well in that sense. I have moved to making my Christmas cards on here because there's so many free things and I just print it out on like cardstock you get at a craft store and cut it like the size of a postcard and then just send it in the mail that way. I've also used this to make sticker charts for my son. I have uploaded, there are some free Mario images. Let's click on this one just for you to see. There are some free images, but I actually uploaded a lot of these off of Google. This is not anything that I'm selling or, you know, handing out to anybody. It's for my own personal use. So in that sense, like I'm able to upload it and use it and everything is good on the rights there. But I made a good choices tracker and we have little boxes for him to put stickers whenever he gets a full page of stickers, then we get to pick out something from our little treasure box that we created with some fun toys. But I did all of this in Canva, and when I was ready to print it, again, you hit your share button that we talked about. It's up in the right corner, and then you can choose how you want to download it. You choose your file type. It says you could do JPEG or PNG, but I'm printing it, so then you do PDF print and hit download. And then it kind of has a little load bar that goes while it's loading up. And then it goes right into your downloads, and it just opened up my item there. So now I can just file and print and send it to the printer. I really like how seamless everything can be. We go back, we can look at some other types of documents. I made a invitation to my sister's bachelorette party on here, and some items for the party. So there is sections for cards and invitations. So I had my what time, what we're gonna do, where we're gonna meet. Let me show you some of the different designs here. So there's a virtual invitation. So if we would click on that, it opens it up. It's a blank one for you to start with. So this is what I use to make the invitation prior. And let's take a look at some of our elements and tools on the side for designing that we had kind of talked about. So first, there's the templates. So that is when we're in a template already, it's under design, and we can scroll through and see the different types of design. If you notice, as I hover over each one, some of them in the lower right corner have a little crown and say Pro. That means you have to be paying for the Pro account to be able to use that template. So the ones that are above it, none of those have that, so those are free. And it may not be as you go down. So like these two are paid, but these ones are not. So it's not going to be like they're all clumped together. As you scroll, there's just going to be some here, some there that are going to be free, and some of them that are going to be paid. It's just kind of mixed in. There's no rhyme or reason of the way that they show it to you. So if, you know, I was doing like a party, I would click on here and it inserts it onto my blank page. And if I wanted to keep this and just start putting in my information, I can click anywhere on it and just start typing. Maybe I'm making this for me. No, it's not my birthday right now. I'm definitely not 21. So I just say birthday. So anywhere I click on here, it's going to have the purple box around it. I will have my blinking cursor for text. And if you noticed, when I clicked on these boxes, I suddenly have formatting information that popped up on my screen that wasn't there before. So here's where you can change the font. It gives you a nice preview of what it might look like. I can change the size. So the size for these types of projects are not always going to correspond to what you think the size should be if you were making it in like Microsoft Word, because the size 114 in Microsoft Word is going to be ginormous. But here it's tuned to, because this is a virtual invitation, to that size, and they do it all for you. You can change the color. And then if you are able to bold anything, then you also have alignment. So if you want it to the left, to the right, to the middle, they have bullet points, spacing. They have lots of different effects, animation. This is a virtual invitation. You could put some different effects in it. So it could slide or blink, or it's like a PowerPoint in an invitation. You can make it kind of goofy like that. Position has to do with forward or backward. So sometimes some of these things might be layered. So you'd always want the background to be all the way to the back. The font would be probably a step forward from that. So you can just change that. And then the next button after position is transparency. This one I use for backgrounds a lot. So if I want, I can make this more transparent. So if I didn't want it to be the full bold background, I could have it a little less. And sometimes that can be helpful when you're trying to use different color fonts on things, and the background might just be a little bit too much for that font. You could use the transparency mode to help that come through. So those are all those different kinds of formatting buttons that we had at the top. I'm going to click out of that. The next item on the left side is elements. So this is where you can put in different graphics. And maybe I want to add in another star graphic. They have a bunch here. Again, they're going to have that little pro if it's paid. But if I wanted to insert one, it will insert it in. And then I have little spots in the corner where I get my two-way arrow, and I can click and drag this to create a different size. And then if I click and drag from the middle, I should get my multi-directional arrow for moving the image, and I can put it wherever I want. You also have some options with the image itself that I inserted. I could duplicate it, or I can delete it and get rid of it. So I could do a second one and put another one over here. If at any point I don't want anything I've put on here, I can click on it and delete with the trash button. So if I don't want this star anymore, I like my yellow ones better, I can trash that. And you always know that this is being saved. Up at the top, we do have a little cloud save. So that means that it has saved to your account in the cloud. If for some reason you don't think the last thing you just did saved, there is under file over here, save. So you could click it just to make sure. But at any point, you can go and do that. You can also name this file. So up at the top here, we've got my name. So I could just say birthday invite and click outside of that to set it. So now I've changed the name of it. So there's different graphics here. There's different shapes. So if I wanted to add in a shape, if I wanted to kind of fix the background a bit, I would add in a shape. So I could drag it around with the sidebar there and make it more split. I could change this color. I think that was to match the stars, but maybe I wanted it to be red or something. I could change the color of that square that I made into the rectangle, and then it changes the invitation completely. So you can play with those. Text, like I said, you can add in something that's not already here. So if I wanted to add in a subheading, it just adds in subheading, and then I can add in whatever I want and move it around. And again, I can use all my formatting tools for color, underline, font size, and whatnot. I'll go ahead and just trash that. But that is how you would add in any of the font. And like I said, there are these like special pre-made font stuff. So if I put in pizza party, then I can type in anything in that style. So that's kind of fun. Go ahead and get rid of that too. So like I said, the main buttons on the left side you use would be design, elements, text, and then you have uploads. So this is the spot where you're going to upload any of your own images. This is where I uploaded a bunch of the Super Mario stuff. There's also different photographs. There's stuff from that bachelorette party. We did a cat theme party. So there's the silly I'm getting meowied graphic that I found that I think on Etsy actually. It was like $1 for the graphic. And a lot of other stuff I've thrown in here in the years. So that's the upload section. And like I said, you can do videos or audio. So if you do videos, it basically is going to insert in the full video. If you would post that to like social media or something, it would be in like the video reels section. That's how you would maybe use that. We often at the library do photo slideshows for different things on our social media. So like different books, we might have a slide per book and add stuff to it. So I'm gonna go back out of this project and it's going to show up in my designs as the most recent one I touched. Sometimes it takes a second for it to load up in your recent designs. So even though it's not showing it right now, I do know it's there. If I would click on it, it is going to open up the correct one. And it does look exactly like it did when we left it. If you've noticed, every time that I have clicked on stuff, it has opened up everything in tabs across the top. So you can always get back to all the different stuff you were looking at. Sometimes that's just good to be aware. Sometimes when I've been going back and forth, I get a little lost and then I realize, oh, it's actually just up there. So no big deal. Close that one too. If you were looking to do, let's see, trying to think of some of the other things I've done with this. This was for a baby shower. There's a space themed baby shower. So this is just in the poster section. You know, you could do something like that. As you scroll through the templates, you can kind of see what's being featured right now. So they have things like where you're hiring, a poster for festivals, Black Friday sales, travel posters. Stuff that you might put up on a board. Something advertising an event, like it looks like they have like a business webinar. So if we would do, let's do like this preservation. do a new page, that's fine. So again, here I have a template. I can go in and change everything about this. I could change, if I click on like the background, yeah. I can click on color and I can change the background color. Maybe I want it to be purple. Maybe I want it to be bright blue. I could change this photo. I could trash it and add in a different photo. Maybe I want to search for, I talked about sunflower earlier, sunflower. So here are some paid images. Here are some free images. So it all depends on what type of image you're looking for. If I need it to go in that box, I can kind of cut it down and change the size of it. So there's so much you can do with altering these templates, which is why I love using this and being able to make something, but from a template where it's already laid out nicely. Like, I am not trained in doing graphic design. So the fact that this is already portioned out with the different boxes so that you have your eyes drawn to certain areas, like the title and the photos, and then the little quotes, and then maybe like a website down at the bottom. I may not have thought to do that before this. So it's just so nice that it's there ready to go and that it's free. All right, let's see. I'm trying to remember what, oh, I wanted to talk about, wanted to look at the printing part a little bit more. Let's go back. And I haven't seen any questions in the chat so far. So again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to put anything in the chat, or if you feel comfortable, since we're recording, to unmute yourself and ask a question, you're totally welcome to. I'm just playing now and showing you different sections. It can get really fun. Let's see, I wanted to go in. Let's do social media quick. So I only go here because I do this a lot for the library, but if you would want to make something to put on social media, like I said, you have different kinds of social media that you can choose from. Within each section of media, they also have other choices. So under Instagram, you can have your regular square Instagram post. They can do an Instagram story. It can do a reel. With Facebook, it could be a post, it could be a cover, it could be an ad. And kind of as you go down, there's lots of different ones, and it kind of gives you some templates too if you're looking for something. So if I choose the Instagram square, it's nice and portioned out for me already. And then they're also giving me some templates to work from if I'd like. If you're not going to work from a template, you can just start with nothing. If I click on the empty square, I can change the color, and then I can start building. I can use my elements to put in different shapes. There's moving stickers or moving graphics. This can be kind of fun, especially on social media. I can choose different kinds of things. I can also search. So if I wanted to search for, I don't know, I'm just trying to find something that has movement. So gymnastics. Oh, it looks like they only have some photos, videos. I don't see any stickers. So let's go back. Maybe if I do, I just click through, do they have like sports or anything? Oh, there's somebody walking. Let's just put that one in. So there I have something to put on Instagram. I can change size. Maybe I need it to be actually small. I could go back in my elements. I can make the background a little different. If I wanted to try to put this behind her, this is where I would go to my position button. And then I'd say back. So I'm going all the way to the back. So now it looks like a surface that she's walking on. So that position button can be helpful. And I just did that with shapes. So you can start building things from scratch pretty quickly. So let's add something else in here. So you can do like a frame for a photo. This is also kind of fun. So if I add that in, it's a circle frame. And then if I go to my uploads, I can choose something from in here. Maybe we'll do this rose photo. As I move it over, it inserts itself in, and I just kind of let go of my mouse and it clicks into that frame. So now I have a photo, but it has got the frame over it, so I don't have all the extra on the outside blocking my image. And we could add in some text. I know none of this makes sense. Why would you have a person walking within a flower? Honestly, I'm just trying to build something as we're talking. Can put in some stuff here. I could change type of font. Yeah, looks like a fun one. When you are in the fonts as well, I wanted to just, there's font or text style. Within the font, they have recommended ones, recently used. And then they also have popular. And again, there is paid fonts in here, but if you keep going, and keep scrolling, you can get to a lot of different choices. You know, it goes back and forth between different kinds of light fonts, bold fonts. But there's so many in here that are free. Like I said, you really, it doesn't matter. You can get a lot of things made with the free section. All right. If I wanted to play this in a loop, I could play with, so the shows for 6 seconds, it plays it in a loop. I could change that amount. So that is when I kind of click on the background here as a whole, there's a timer, and I can edit that. So you can make that longer. Depending on what it is, you might want it to sit for a while before it stops. You can play with those things. Things get different when you add in the movement or music. But there's so much to choose from these elements that it's definitely easy to make something from nothing. But again, I don't know that that is nearly as pretty as, say, some of the stuff that's in a template and all set up for you, especially if it's something that you're trying to advertise for something. It's easier to use their stuff because it's going to be catchy and easier for people to take in the information and look at it. Now, let's see. So if I do, let's go and look at the settings quick. So your settings are going to be up in the top right corner. This is where it shows what account you're signed into. There is the Get Help section. And this is a nice little section where you can type in a question and it's going to try to figure out what you need. Say you have a question on images, then you can start choosing what the topic with images you need. Adding images, uploading, replacing, moving them, resizing them, cropping them, applying effects. They have lots of different options. You can also just go to the Help Center page. So this is also really nice. They again have a text box for you to just type in what you need help with. But then they also have, if you have problems with downloading, saving, or sharing, your account settings, or printing and delivery, editing and designing. It's all laid out really nicely. It's one of the better help sites that I think I've seen. And again, also, if you notice up at the top, it says, we're on it. Users may encounter issues in Content Planner for Facebook and Instagram. And you can click on Learn More. So Content Planner is a section for businesses where you can kind of preset something to be posted on Facebook and or Instagram or both ahead of time. So you're going to schedule it and then it posts for you at the right time. So it's a way that the different tools work together. So they're just letting people know, hey, there's an issue. We know it. We're trying to fix it. So that kind of appears in this help section, which is really nice because if you are having some big issues and you go to the help section, you might get your question answered right away. The other thing within settings, first, same stuff, you just have your what email address you're using, your login and security. You can turn on multi-factor authentication if you feel the need to. And then you can also put the different people that are invited to collaborate on your account. And then you can give them a team role. So if you have more than one person working in the same account, this is where you can put people in to make sure that they have access. If for some reason you were going to do the paid portion, that is going to be within all of this billing stuff, adding payment methods. We're not going to go over that just because we're all for the free stuff here at the library. So that is what we're showing you. You can change things, like you can put in your photo here if you want to get fancy. I haven't done that, but there's not too much to that settings section, but that is the settings. If you, again, wanted to create something, like I said, you have two ways. One is this homepage, but this create design button, if you've noticed, as we've been clicking around, it's in every page. No matter where I go, this purple create a design button stays. It's just the same stuff we're looking at before. What type of document do you want? Just a regular document, video document, presentation? If I say document, this is where it's like a text document. So this is where you could create resumes, where you could do letterheads. You can put in all those fun graphics and jazz it up. And it's just a Word document. So I definitely encourage you to take a look at all the different kinds of projects you could do. You might find that you can do a lot more in here than you thought. Again, you can make all kinds of things. Whatever you would make on a computer and print off, you have access to do here as well. So I think that's about it. Again, don't be afraid for that help page. There got a lot of good stuff on there. On the handout, I have that help page in there. I also have my contact information. I got my email address if you need to give me a question. Again, I'm not an expert, but I definitely can try and figure it out and help you. I do Techno-minute sessions, which are one-on-one sessions. You get 30 minutes for a tech question, could be on a computer, a phone, a tablet. The topics are wide ranging, but if you're interested in signing up for any of those, you would just visit any of our help desks or call the library and select the help desk to talk to, and they have the schedule to get an appointment for that. So again, that is, we could work on Canva during one of those sessions if you'd like. If you have something specific you're working on and you're kind of stuck on something, you know, we can definitely take a look at it. So that's an option. But otherwise, I think that's everything for Canva. Does anyone have any questions? This has been such an easy class. I feel like there's always a question.
Thanks, Amanda. My question's not related to Canva. It's your last name. I finally found somebody who has a harder name to pronounce than mine. So how do you say it correctly?
So the English pronunciation that our family uses is Breskowitz.
Okay.
It's Polish, so the Polish pronunciation is Breskewicz.
Okay. Okay.
So it's what I married into. I also have a Polish maiden name, so it's a little easier, but it's still long and a bunch of letters. So
yeah. I think it's the first time I've seen the SZ and the CZ also in the same name.
Yes, it's got silent Z's. So you didn't think there could be a silent Z, but there is. All right, well, thank you so much for coming. I'm gonna go ahead and end the class here since it doesn't seem like we have any other questions.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Have fun designing.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.